I remember my first real heartbreak. You know, that type of heartbreak that pulls the rug underneath you, where it seems like the whole foundation of your life is crumbling. Yeah, you probably know what I'm talking about. And I remember one specific moment when that heartbreak was still really fresh. One moment that put me into rage. It's when my mother told me, "You will get through it, son. All humans go through such heartbreaks." Of course, she was trying to console me. Of course, she was doing everything in her power to make me feel better, to ease my pain. But me, being immature and being simply heartbroken, I was enraged by that statement. How could she say that every human goes through heartbreak, such heartbreak, like the one that I went through? No, it's impossible. My love was the greatest one of all time. What I was going through was the greatest and most painful heartbreak of all the heartbreaks in history of humanity. That's what I genuinely thought at that moment. So her saying that all humans have to go through that, all humans that give love a chance. To put some more context, my mother is a pretty wise person, so she tried to encourage me also by saying all humans that give love a chance, all humans that are courageous enough to engage in the act of loving, they have to go through heartbreak. They have felt what I have felt. Some of you will realize right away that this statement was supposed to be helpful, but I was enraged. It's not possible that anyone ever has experienced that kind of heartbreak. That's what I thought. And I know some of you are thinking the same thing right now. Some of you are going through heartbreak right now. Some of you are still unable to move on. Some of you are still troubled with being left without that person who you thought was the second half of you, the half that you'll be missing your whole life. And trust me, I know I can relate. I can relate. I know what it's like to have your personal God. And maybe you don't view that person as a God, but your love, your union is your personal God. Especially if you're not religious, you can view your love, your relationship, as your own personal God. And if that relationship falls apart, it's like Nietzsche's God is dead. But probably even worse, your personal God is dead. No one can understand. Your personal God is dead. So if you are one of those people who's been dealing with heartbreak, if you are unable to move on, if you feel that your heart is crushed and that you will never be able to recover, I'm here to tell you the same thing that my mother told me, but with more context, so that you don't get angry at me the way I did at my mother. But even if you do, it's okay. It's okay because I think in the long run, what I'm about to say will help you. Your heartbreak is as unique as it can be, but it's also the same as everyone else's. You are unique. Your story is unique. There is only one of you. Your life up to this point, with all the experiences you have accumulated. There's just one story in the history of humanity like that, and that's your story. It has countless of similarities with billions of humans that have lived throughout history, but there is only one your story. That's why your heartbreak is also unique. Only you and that person know those moments that you have experienced together. That is not to say that new, more precious moments will not happen in your life in the future. But we have to acknowledge that, yes, your story is unique, your love is unique, your love was unique, and your heartbreak is as unique as it can be. You have all the right to believe that your story was special. You have all the right to be devastated. You have all the right to be crushed. But it's a mistake to think that you are alone in that experience. Your story is unique. But saying that all humans who give love a chance experience the same thing doesn't take away anything from the uniqueness of your story. You can hold those two thoughts. You can hold those two truths at the same time. Your heartbreak is unique. And it's one of the most painful things that a human being can experience. But also, all human beings who engage in love experience that crushing heartbreak. And it's extremely important that we acknowledge and accept this fact that our heartbreak, in one sense, is the same like everyone else's, because it allows us to share our experiences. It allows us to open up. And this is important because it makes us realize that there isn't and there shouldn't be some kind of plan or program to overcome your heartbreak. A specific, precise layout of 10, 15, 20 steps to get over your heartbreak. I think it's a disgrace towards a feeling as special as love and heartbreak to reduce it down to a set of actionable steps. Okay, I have to do this, this, and this, and I will overcome my heartbreak. Was it really love then? If you can lay out a plan how to overcome the loss of that love. Was it really love? I don't think so. And that's why when I'm saying this, I hope that you can realize some of you value what I say. And that's why you're listening to this. But I'm no authority on overcoming heartbreak. I'm a fellow human like you who has been in love and experienced heartbreak. And I think every single human being, no matter how wise they are, when it comes to love and heartbreak, that's what they are. They are human. They are fellow human who can share their own experience. Of course, some people have more experience and are just wise and know how to impart wisdom on you, like a lot of my friends. But there is no authority on love and heartbreak. So I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole of ranting against love gurus and relationship experts. Once again, a disgrace towards something as special, and I would say as sacred as love. Of course, there are some actionable, practical things that I think we can agree people should do, and we can share that advice with each other, especially in the digital age. If you have broken up with someone, if the relationship has ended definitely, then maybe visiting their Instagram profile every single day to see where they have been and to wait for the day when you see they have moved on and they have started another relationship. That's not the best idea. So when we're talking about practical steps, there are things like that. Don't stalk them. Don't remind yourself constantly of them on purpose. You will be reminded by life. Don't worry. Don't worry. But don't you actively pursue that feeling of being reminded of them and then feeling that half pain, half warmth in your heart, because even the memory of them, even though it's painful, it still provides you some sort of satisfaction. Don't pursue that. It's counterproductive. Engage in your life. Engage in new constructive projects. There are some practical steps that we can agree on. But to create a plan of overcoming heartbreak, what is that? What is that? And I also understand if you don't want to overcome your heartbreak, you don't want to move on, you don't want to feel better. And maybe you will say, no, that's not true. But think about it. Think about it. Think honestly with yourself. Did you even decide that you want to move on? That you want to heal? Let me explain. A lot of people refuse to move on, refuse to heal, refuse to get better because they think if they move on and if they get over that heartbreak, that will be the proof that the love wasn't real. And think honestly if you ever had that thought. I don't want to move on. I don't want even this pain to end because this pain is my proof that the love was real. So if I heal, if I move on, what then? Does it mean that everything was false? Does it mean that I was in a delusion? That was my thought process. And I can share a secret with you. Although not too long ago, I would consider it extremely embarrassing to share this. But After my first real heartbreak, for almost a full year, every single night I dreamt of that person. I was tormented by that heartbreak. Every single morning I would wake up thinking, is it really over? Now looking back on that, a big part of me not being able to move on and me dreaming of that person and being tormented by the pain and memories of our love, a big part of that was my unwillingness, my largely unconscious decision not to move on, my decision not to heal, my decision not to move on, because if I move on, then the love wasn't real, which is a completely false idea. So that's why I would like you to think about this, to think about if you really made that decision. And another important thing to point out, maybe even the first thing that we should talk about when we talk about heartbreak, is that it's okay to admit that you are crushed by your heartbreak, especially for men. You know, for men it's so difficult to admit that that's one of the most difficult moments of their life. So then we are not only dealing with heartbreak, we are dealing with the feeling of shame, such a poisonous feeling. Shame for being heartbroken and for being devastated by the loss of that love. If it wasn't said, it would be funny when you see someone ashamed of one of the most relatable human experiences, pain of a heartbreak. So imagine being ashamed of breathing, being ashamed of experiencing pain when your leg is broken. Heartbreak, one of the most relatable human experiences. And that's why I say, in some sense, it's the same like everyone else's. Because heartbreak can connect you with so many humans. I would even argue that going through heartbreak makes you more fully human. And I know that now, if you're in pain, this might sound ridiculous and outrageous, but I know that one day you will remember me and understand what I thought when I said it. Experiencing heartbreak, going through heartbreak, makes you more fully human. It adds another layer to your human depth and beauty. And when you understand that, then you will pass on that message to someone else who is struggling. So yes, your love was special. Your heartbreak is unique. It's okay to feel devastated. Don't be ashamed of it. But also ask yourself honestly, did you even make the decision to move on? Are you even willing to heal? Or are you holding on to the pain as the last proof that love was real? Did it just rhyme? Okay. Perfect way to end it. Perfect way to end it. And who knows, maybe I start dropping rap songs about heartbreak. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Let me know your thoughts on heartbreak, your experiences, your feelings. What do you think about what I just shared with you? Subscribe, like, comment. Give love a chance. Stay strong. Love life first of all. And never feel sorry for yourself. I love you.